Welcome, Tag Radio listeners. This is Roman Whitehair, a.k.a. Tag Intern, a.k.a. The Green Ranger. Tonight I'm here with both T and G for the post-game on the patio.
Immediately following the game, only like Tag Radio does.
Guys, this game ended 5 minutes ago. Maybe not even. Our emotions are high right now. We're not looking at stat sheets. We're talking out of the heart right now.
No script. There's no lineup. There's nothing. This is straight off the head.
Yep.
Straight off the head. But let me let you guys know, all three of these gentlemen right here, including myself, will keep their composure, just as the Mavs did in that fourth quarter.
Although, after these nail biters, guys, it's tough too. Is this not the biggest adrenaline rush you've ever been around? You know, you've all played sports. We all played sports. And these close games, and every single one of them has been a close game. The adrenaline that I'm feeling right now, my heart's still beating.
The best part about it is you can never count these Mavs out, right?
Absolutely.
You can't count the Heat out either. But the Mavs, no matter how much they're down, they always dig their hole. But like we talked about in the blogs, they're really just digging that trench. They're digging in for the fourth quarter, ready to fight, because they know that the fourth quarter is where they have to win. And obviously they did that this game.
And is this not a perfect ending to a game?
Yeah.
Our best player, our superstar, who has carried us throughout the playoffs, shoots what, 5 for 20, adds 21 points, about 10 free throws. An abysmal game from his standpoint, probably from a bunch of Mavs fans' standpoint, from my standpoint. And we come out with a win. It's unbelievable.
Rome, paint that picture that Dirk is carrying the wagon the whole time.
Dirk is absolutely the stallion carrying the Mavericks wagon right now. Dirk is absolutely leading the team. He's taking charge. Not like in 06 when he was taking unnecessary jump shots. He's taking the ball to the rack, trying to draw the foul. He is doing an absolute perfect job of facilitating the Mavs swag, the Mavs D, and the Mavs team.
But you just said it right there. I think that's something we've missed this entire time. The defense tonight.
Absolutely.
Rick Carlisle
The
talks
defense
about it
tonight.
every game. Defensive rebounding.
Grant, let me hear from you. Who do you think had the best defensive performance tonight? Because we all know, as Mavs fans and as true basketball fans, that made the difference.
I mean, I think you have to tip your hat to Junkyard. You have to look at Kid. I mean, it was a team effort, really. I don't know how to pick out any individual person, but Junkyard, okay, I'll give it to Junkyard. Junkyard came off the bench, right?
Absolutely.
He's always a starter. He played the 3. He was the 3 position. He usually plays the 2. He was their big man out there. And he played big minutes. He came up with 11 points. That's 11 more than I would have expected him getting in a game.
That is something that you make that point, and Deshaun Stevenson, a.k.a. Junkyard Dog, dubbed these 3 guys right here.
Yeah.
Played such a crucial role tonight.
Yeah.
We've been getting terrible minutes from Pasha. Strictly off the offensive end. He's such a liability on defense. But to have a guy that brings the swag, the word that we love to throw around, especially from our generation, to have that guy out there throwing his body around all up in LeBron's face and Wade's face, and to knock down those threes on the offensive end.
Especially in the first half.
I mean, he didn't hit a shot in the second half, but still his presence on the court, he played a crucial role in tonight's victory.
Absolutely. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. Now, guys, what do you think, Taylor, what do you think was the most important aspect that the Mavs improved upon tonight that they need to continue upon in Game 5? Well, if the Mavs really need to get a lot of experts have said that the Mavs need to get 2 out of the 3 at home.
Absolutely.
In Game 5, if we're to win this game, what is the most important aspect from a player's perspective, from a coach's perspective, and from a fan's perspective that the Mavs need to continue to improve upon?
Well, I think it's obvious. I think you stick to what you just came out with that game. I think you start J.J. Barea again.
Yep.
I think you get that spark offensively again. J.J. started out great. The Mavs started out great. 6-0 run to start the game. Dirk was hot. J.J. was driving.
Yep.
Made a couple good shots in the beginning. And now those layups, those finger rolls, I believe those are going to fall.
Yep.
And if you have that going into the start of the game, you get that fresh start. You have that that matchup when Mike Bibby is guarding JJ Barea and he has to guard him.
That's a win for the Mavs.
That's a win for the Mavs because Bibby on Barea, I'll take it. Barea on Bibby, I'll take it.
Yep.
I love that matchup, and I think you stick to that. You bring Deshaun in later. You bring Terry in again off the bench. I think you just stick to it.
I agree.
And you're never going to get
Most of that.
you're not going to get a performance like that from Dirk the rest of the playoffs, the rest of the finals.
Look.
You're not going to get a performance like that. If you stick to what you started with, you're going to have Dirk in Game 5 playing much better. I think we can win
absolutely.
Game 5.
I thought you were referring to much worse. Grant,
No,
what do you have to say?
Yeah, that's my answer to your question. What do the Mavs need to do better? I'm going to press the easy button on this.
Absolutely.
Dirk needs to play better. Dirk is going to play better. That's the easiest answer I have for you. In pregame and the plaza today, what I said on the floor, you need to get Dirk the touches. That's another easy button. Everything's going through Dirk, but finally the bench, finally the defense, everyone finally stood up and just carried Dirk this game, which is, you probably won't see that again, but we need it again. If we want to beat this Heat team, we need Dirk again. We need the bench again.
It's a great point you make. It's kind of a culmination of everything we've said throughout this past, week.
Series.
This entire series.
Yeah.
We need Dirk to touch the ball every time. I was begging the other day for the role players to show up.
Yeah.
And finally, Dirk runs through the offense and the role players show up. Even though Dirk has a slightly, obviously a subpar game to our standards and his standards.
Yeah.
Especially his standards.
Yeah.
It's just funny how everything comes together and we're able to come out with a victory tonight. But it's from the defensive end. It's from the defensive end. I don't have the stat sheet in front of us. We said that earlier. I want to know how many points LeBron James, the best player in the world, ended up with tonight.
The king.
The king.
Now,
Crown him. Crown him.
Absolutely. They may have crowned LeBron James too early in this series and for his career. However, may I point out, in the second quarter, they had Deshaun Jackson on D. Wade. Deshaun Stevenson. I'm sorry, not Deshaun Jackson. That's the Chargers. It's the Mickeys.
That's the Eagles.
That's the Eagles.
So Deshaun Stevenson did a very good job of guarding D. Wade in the second quarter. However, they started to put him on LeBron towards the end of the game. And I think Carlisle kind of got one step ahead of Spoelstra, predicting that they were going to try and get LeBron to take the game-winning shots or the game-clinching shots at the end, and they put what I believe to be our best defender on the best player in the league.
And that's another point.
And it made a big difference.
Absolutely. That's another point I think we're overlooking. The adjustments that Rick Carlisle made. I know we talk about him like you stick to what you like. His mantra this entire playoffs: stick to what you know.
Right?
Defense, rebounds, stick to what you know.
Yep.
He hasn't budged. Something didn't work. He makes the adjustment. I love that about Rick Carlisle. I think we can credit the players because they obviously showed up tonight. We can credit a bunch of people, but Rick Carlisle, he needs some credit because that was a phenomenal adjustment. And Cardinal played countless minutes tonight.
Those are
quality minutes.
Those aren't going to show up on the stat sheets because he didn't score.
They're not.
He didn't have assists, but he got hard fouls, important fouls.
And
he got rest for Dirk. That's the most important
And his
thing
presence on the court, and we talked about this during the game, I know you remember it. His presence on the court, when he tries to draw that charge, when he throws his body around, when he's setting those hard picks on LeBron, the team has to respond to that somehow.
Yeah.
And I think you have to credit Carlisle because that is a phenomenal job of shaking things up. And those assistant coaches, and him including, they've watched so much film. They've been studying this. They know what to do, and that's a great job for pulling the plug, shaking it up, and going with something different.
Absolutely. I think Carlisle's move to start Barea made a big difference on the whole aspect of the game. Not only did Barea give us a spark at the beginning of the game, but it allowed to light a fire under Deshaun Stevenson and allow him to come out and score the points that he needed to kind of boost us out in the beginning and keep us hanging with LeBron and D. Wade the way they were driving to the hole. I think it was a very important aspect. Carlisle, he plays mind games. He makes the right moves. If you're not playing well, you're not going to get minutes. And
very underrated coach.
I think he's a very underrated coach. Absolutely.
Could have won Coach of the Year this year, I believe. He did get some votes, but He is very underrated. I want to ask you a question.
All right.
How do the Heat